This is a pen, but it was not always like this. We started from this, then slowly made our way to this. This entire process of gradual developmental change is defined as evolution, and it's wonderfully explained by Charles Darwin. But you might be wondering, why am I talking about all of this when the title and thumbnail suggest otherwise? In my opinion, engineering is a form of evolution made possible by humans and their innovations. But in this video, I want to draw your attention to how tech has made every car feature-loaded, yet boring. Now, I do understand that not every car owner is an enthusiast, and there is no hard and fast rule that they have to love their car in a particular manner. To a lot of them, a car is just a mode of transport for going from point A to point B, and it is completely fine. But this video is for those handful of people who have found solace in their cars, who have made countless memories, good and bad, and those who believe that their car is much more than a machine. So without any further ado, fasten your seatbelts and let's go back to the time when cars were fun and alive. No, I'm not talking about the 50s where they were beautiful but difficult to drive at times. I'm talking about the 80s, be it the JDMs like RX-7, Fairlady Z and Supra Mark III, or the American gas guzzlers like Z28, Firebird Trans Am, Mustang, or the performance-oriented Germans like the first ever all-wheel drive Porsche, the 959, the Audi Sport Quattro, the M3 E30, and Golf GTI to name a few. These cars had one thing in common which most modern cars lack. That is a soul. Now you might be thinking, what the heck am I talking about? But riddle me this. Do you think the RX-7 was a purpose-built race car or a drift car? No, it just happened to be a good car with excellent performance and driving dynamics. Such is the case with Supra Mark III. Do you think it is a purpose-built race car? No, it just happened to be a good car. Do you see where am I going with this? My point is that manufacturers did not create it because they had a purpose in their minds. They created something which they loved. These were fine until we started to see electronics everywhere. Now, before you label me out as a boomer, I would like to point out that there are a few electronics which actually made life easier, such as power windows, electronic ORVMs, keyless entry, and a hybrid gauge cluster. All of this grew on me because I had time to adapt. I know tech has been an integral part of automobiles and how valuable it is, but lately we have been seeing a pattern from manufacturers shoving unnecessary electronics into a car, which led to faster battery drain and requiring frequent visit to service centers. Let's start with lane keep assist. I understand why semi-truck drivers or people with pickup trucks in general could benefit from this because of how wide the vehicle is. But putting it in a sedan or a hatchback is just absurd in my opinion. Moreover, these assists and overly complex systems took away the sheer joy of traditionally driving a car that many enthusiasts love. I feel the same for reverse cameras. I understand that in a bigger vehicle you would require it, but in a hatchback, I don't see a purpose. And speaking of infotainment systems, buttons and knobs were fine, until someone thought it would be a good idea to add touch screens instead of physical buttons. But now there is a problem. Now you have to take your eyes off the road in order to do something such as adjusting the temperature of the cabin. Now obviously this little maneuver can cause an accident, so manufacturers decided to add some safety features such as lane keep assist and automated driving and voice commands. All of these to solve a problem which never existed in the first place. Now, I'm not an engineer, but I don't think repairing/replacing a touchscreen is cheaper than a button or a knob. Let's take the 2025 Cadillac Escalade for instance, and its 55-inch curved pillar-to-pillar total diagonal display with front passenger infotainment. In case you haven't seen this, here is how it looks. Now someone explain to me why it is needed. If you think this is a necessity, explain gesture control to me. It honestly looks like they are trying to open a portal like Doctor Strange. It is worse than a touchscreen. Then we have soft lock, which in my opinion is the most pointless invention to ever exist. Since when has closing a door been considered physical labor? It is not that hard. I know some people would argue that it's a luxurious feature, but I honestly don't see the point. The list goes on and on, such as mood lighting, perfume dispenser, night vision assistance, automated seat adjustments, tire pressure monitoring system, and many more. The inclusion of these high-tech features not only increases the purchase cost initially, but also makes repair and maintenance significantly more expensive. People like you and I, people who are real car lovers, know that these features do not define a car. A car is supposed to reduce human efforts, not replace them. In my opinion, there are two types of people. One who loves a feature-loaded car and the other who loves the soul. I know some of you might be offended, but I think it needs to be said. My point is, manufacturers are trying to appeal to a mass audience by adding unnecessary stuff at the expense of right to repair. I'm not against tech, but I believe that anything mechanical would be easier to fix as opposed to electronics. I could be wrong, and you can fact check me on this, but I really believe tech has made cars overly complex to the point that there is stuff being added which we do not need. If you agree or disagree, share your thoughts on the matter. Let me know the features that you think are unnecessary in modern cars. Keep your revs up, and I shall see you in the next video.